जय हिंद बच्चों। आज हमारे साथ में है सूर्यांशु दुबे, जो कि बीटेक एंट्री से रिकमेंडेड है फ्रॉम एसएसबी बेंगलोर। इन्होंने एनडीए का भी एग्ज़ाम दिया है। तो आज इनसे हम बात करते हैं कि इनका एसएसबी का सफ़र कैसा रहा। तो सूर्यांशु जी, यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम इन अवर ओसीए चैनल। एंड आप मुझे बताइए एसएसबी के बारे में, आपने किस से अप्लाई किया था, किस एंट्री के थ्रू, और आपको आपका ये कॉल लेटर कब आया और उसकी आपने तैयारी कैसे शुरू की है?
Thank you, sir, for inviting me on this big stage of Officers Career Academy. Firstly, I gave my JEE mains for direct SSB of Navy BTech entry 10
Okay.
plus 2 level.
Right.
So in my JEE mains, I was having a certain rank on which basis I was called for my SSB. My center was in Bangalore, 12 SSB board Bangalore.
Excuse me, Suryanshu, I would like to interrupt you. After giving your this JEE advanced examination, again have you filled the form for BTech entry Navy, or directly they have contacted you?
No, first when we fill JEE mains examination form, when we give JEE mains examination, then we have to fill our Navy BTech form on the website of Join Indian Navy.
Okay.
After applying there, you will be shortlisted for SSB if you are having certain rank criteria which Navy provides.
Okay.
Then according to that you will be called for your SSB.
So Suryanshu, can you tell me what is the criteria by which they are shortlisting for the Navy?
The criteria is your rank in JEE mains, which is given to you on the basis of your percentile which you score in JEE mains examination.
Okay.
And if your ranks come under the rank which Indian Navy provides, then you will be shortlisted for the SSB.
Right. Is there any percentage criteria required for 12th in the class 12th for the Navy or Army or something else?
Yes, if you want to give direct SSB, then you should have at least 75% for Navy entry, 75% in the 12th
In
examination.
which group? This is the PCM group or the overall percentage of 75%?
No. Physics, chemistry, maths group. Then in that you have to score 75%.
So you mean to say that in the PCM group, candidate must have 75% for the shortlisting for the SSB.
Yes.
Okay. So congrats for you, the first stage that you have been shortlisted. Then what was the procedure which you have followed, and when you have reported to the SSB board Bengaluru?
My SSB was from 20th of March 2023 to 24th of March 2023.
Okay.
I reached Bangalore on 19th of March, and I stayed in a hotel nearby the SSB center.
Okay.
After reaching, I had a proper rest to be good for to work properly on my SSB day.
That's good.
Then I reported on SSB center at 5:30 a.m.
Okay.
on the 20th of March.
Okay.
After reporting there, we were given which the officers checked our admit cards, and then they allowed us to enter in the board premises. After entering, our documents were checked.
Okay.
Our names are okay or not, or something like that. After that, we were sent for our breakfast.
Okay.
And then our SSB procedure started.
Okay. So how many candidates with you first day for the SSB?
The list that were given at that time when we entered the center was around 400 students.
Okay.
But the actual reporting was of 320 students.
Okay, so 320 students reported on the first day for the SSB. Okay. In the first day, what was the procedure which you have followed?
After the first day, mainly the basic test, that is screening test, has been taken by the board.
Okay.
In that, we have to first give our 2 tests.
Okay.
That are basic reasoning or your basic maths test, that is known as OIR test.
Okay.
So that checks your journal ability, how much a cadet having journal not knowledge but journal application of maths and reasoning.
So the first was the screening test. How many questions were there in the screening test?
In screening test there are 2 stages. First is OIR test, and second is PPDT, that is picture perception and description test, in which you have to describe the picture that is shown to you. But first is OIR test. In one set there were 50 questions, and in one set there were 35 questions. So according to that you have to solve both the sets.
Suryanshu, according to you, is there any minimum criteria that out of 50 or 35 you have to select minimum dismiss questions? Is there any criteria like that?
The criteria that is dependent on the board, means the grading are there, that is 1 to 5 number grading.
Okay.
Means if you score 1, then you are the best cadet of the means you have performed best in that test, and if you are scoring 5 marks, that is the worst. But that depends on the board. Just you have to do is means there is no negative marking as such. If you attempt that much, 30 questions, 35 questions, 40 questions, that is up to you. That is not a major means criteria for selection during screen test according to me.
So now first you have gone for your that OIR and then PPDT. Then what
Yeah.
was the next stage?
After OIR we were given our PPDT test, means in which our picture was shown to us.
Right.
We wrote a story on it in 4 minutes. Then we were given some time to recollect the story which we have written.
Okay.
Then we were divided in group of 15, and then a group discussion was held,
Okay.
in which first you have to narrate your own story
Okay.
which you have written,
Okay.
and then you have to discuss in the group and come to a common conclusion, in which you have to make a group story which a person will narrate as your leader of the group.
Okay, Suryanshu, would you like to tell us what was the story which you wrote in your SSB?
The story, actually the picture that is shown to us are very hazy, means they are not clear enough कि हाँ we can differentiate कि क्या है क्या नहीं.
Okay.
But according to me, that what I perceived was something well, means some dig was there, and something was going on, construction kind of work.
Okay.
So I wrote a story around कि well have been developed in the society
Right.
for helping the farmers and poor section of that poor not but farmers and other
It means
sections
you
of
have
the
given
society.
the positive side of that story.
Yes.
So this may be the plus point for you because you have shown the positivity. And as in the life we must be a positive. That was the good about you. And after this PPDT and position, what was the next step?
After that the results were announced around 3 p.m. So out of 320, 40 students were there who were screened in. So
Out of 320?
40 students were there who were
Only
screened.
40?
Yes.
Okay, so how was your reaction at the time when you got your screen?
Actually, when I have also given previous SSB, so at that time, first time it is something that we think a lot कि होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए, but this was not my first time, so I was quite confident कि screening तो मैं हो ही जाऊँगा, that is not a big deal. So yes, it gives happiness, but it was not as much as of that first time.
Right, got your point, because for you that you had already appeared SSB previously, so you were confident about this time that yes, I will be screened.
Yes.
So confidence is good, that's okay. Now, after your screening, what was the procedure for the next remaining 4 days?
After that screening, we were allotted our rooms in which we have to live with our group for next 4 days. So next, the second day was our psychology test.
Okay.
In psychology test, you have to write 11 stories.
11 stories?
Yes, 10 stories are that are picture shown to you,
Okay.
and 1 story is blank story that you have to write by your own.
Okay.
After
So, right, means the second day.
second day, first task was writing story.
So you have been given with the 11 stories. Out of that, 10 were with the materials and 1 was the blank. And you wrote all the 11 stories.
Yes.
Okay. What was the next step?
Next was the WAT test, that is word association test, in which there are 60 words shown to you for 15 seconds each, and you have to make a sentence on each word and write a sentence that is around that depends on you how much lengthy sentence you
In
write.
your case, how many words you have attempted?
I attempted around 54 55 words.
54 out of 60?
Yes.
That was a good number. Okay. So after your BAT, that is word association test, what was the next?
Next was SRT, that is situation reaction test, in which 60 situations are given to us, basic situation that if you are in a railway and something happened, if you are going on a road something happened, what will be your stand on such type of situations. So 60 SRTs were there, and half an hour time was given to us to write your reaction on SRTs.
Okay, Suryanshu, as you are a recommended candidate, so I would like to interrupt you here, and I would like to ask you that what should be the written during the SRT? What means, what the basic things SSB wants to judge for the SRT?
every person has different perception, but according to me the best thing that I have done and I would recommend also is we should not leave any SRT between. If we have attempted only 30 SRTs, that is not a big problem, 30 is good, but you should not leave any one SRT between that 30 SRTs. If we will skip, that shows ki we have skipped that situation.
We must have the consistency while attempting our SRTs. Okay,
attempting less number is not a problem, but
you must have the consistency. Okay, that is the good point which you have told to our viewers. Okay, after the SRT, what was the next?
After SRT, next was our self description test, that is SDT, in which we have to write what our parents think about us, what our teachers think about us, what our friends think about us, what I think about myself, and what type of person I want to become in future. These 5 questions we have to answer in SDT test.
Okay, that was good, but also we would like to know the answers, because again I am telling you, because you are the recommended candidates, so our viewers, we would like to know what were the answers of each question which you answered to the SSB.
So first was the opinion, means what your parents think about you. So in that I have written about my responsibilities that my parents give, and also such as if my parents went outside for some professional work, so because of their occupation, so they can leave home on me, that they can guarantee that if he is in the home, then there is no such problem.
So it means you have shown yourself as a responsible person. It is good enough. You must be responsible at this stage. Okay, what was the next question and your answer?
Other points that I have given in parents' opinion was ki I was good in academics, so they were confident enough that I will be selected, so there was no such problem. In teachers' opinion, I was the prefect of my school, so there also teachers believe that I am a responsible person, so they have designated me the post of prefect.
What is the prefect? I could not get this point, please.
Prefect is a designation in which you have to maintain the decorum and the silence of the school, so you have to look what students are doing in the school, which type of dressing sense they have, what if they are late and not, that such duties were looked by a prefect.
Okay, so it means if you are a senior or any type of responsible positions you are holding in the class, so that will also impact your SSB. Is
yes,
it like that?
yes. If you are a class monitor also, this also shows that you are a responsible person. That's why you have been given the responsibility to monitor a whole class.
Okay,
so
that's good. Viewers, dear students, you must be responsible everywhere you are. See, in the case of Suryanshu, he has told that he was a monitor perfect in his class, so it gives a positive impact to the assessors. So whenever, wherever you are, try to be leader in each and every activities performed by you. Okay, what was the next process after your this particular SRTs and this question answer by 5 questions?
After SDT, we were given time to go to our room and have lunch and all, and we were having free day. But some students on that day were having interview, so I was also one of them. I was having my interview on the first day. So then I went for my interview around 3 p.m. and my interview took around 1 hour.
1 hour.
And then I came back to my room and prepared for my next day.
Okay, so we would like to know some question and answers which you faced during your interview.
The basic questions they ask are generally about what you do. First they ask about your family members, what are they doing, what are their occupation, after that they ask you about your qualification, what you have done till now, if there are other good achievements, like you have done something meritorious in your life.
So again I would like to interrupt you here. Suppose if there is a student whose parents are farmer, are from a very below poverty line, are from low financial position, is there things which are impacting the selection of these students?
No, there is nothing such things like that. If you are belonging from a farmer family or a family from defense background, that doesn't make any impact. The only impact that makes is what you do in your SSB. So there is no such impact.
Okay. What was the next question?
The general questions they asked me about my life, ki what are your hobbies, what are your interests.
Okay, what the hobbies and interests you have told to the SSB?
I told them about trekking and
Okay.
traveling to new places. So they asked me where you have traveled and all.
What was your answer?
So I at that time recently visited to Siagarh Fort. I
Okay.
told them about that. I went it on a trek to Siagarh Fort. So
Have
such
they asked any question on the Siagarh Fort after that?
no, they didn't ask any question, but they asked me just ki how much time it took to climb you the mountain, how much time it took you to come down. Just general
Okay,
question.
means if you are telling about something, then you must be prepared for the question and answer based on that particular things. Okay. What are the next questions which you faced?
Other than that, my sister is also a defense aspirant, so they asked me about her ki what are means if I'll compare you with her, what are the similarities, what are the differences.
Okay.
Also they asked ki if we have to select between you and her, who would you recommend. So such type of questions
Such
were
type of question they have given.
Yes.
Means they have given the authority to you that you select either yourself or your sister.
Yes.
So what was your answer?
My answer was that ki I will recommend my sister. So they asked me the reason why, because so that time I told them ki my sister is having a bit much more means influence on influence nahi much more some means good impact on English, so she will score more in psychology test. Other than that we both are on the same scale, so this will make some impact and she will be recommended.
Okay, okay. Again, you have shown a positive attitude that you have given the chance to your sister in place of you. That's a good point according to the assessors also and according to me also. Okay, what was the next question which you faced by the assessors?
Other than that, just normal questions they asked me about what is going in the world, what are some international and national news which are taking place in the
You
country.
just come on the specific questions. What was the specific question about the international news?
No, they just asked me to tell any two news that I want to tell.
Then what did you tell?
At that time means I was means not much prepared about this, but the basic two things that I told them was about Russia-Ukraine war,
Okay.
because it was not an current issue at that time, but it was going on, so I told them about that one. And one news I told related to this only ki I read newspaper in board only.
Okay.
Chinese president visited Russia at that time.
Okay.
So these two news I told them. So
Okay. What are the next questions apart from the news?
other than that, they asked me basic questions about Navy, Air Force, because my father was from Air Force background.
Okay.
So about Navy, Air Force, and other than that, they asked me general knowledge questions like what is NATO, what,
NATO?
because
NATO?
that North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and because of NATO means I told them news of Russia-Ukraine war, so NATO was a reason behind it. So they asked me about NATO. They asked me about how many oceans are there. If you want to go from India to London, what are the ways you are having? So such normal questions were asked.
Okay.
So not means no any such question कि there is a perception बहुत difficult होता है. So there was no
These
such.
were the normal questions they asked you about your NATO and all the other things. Okay. So as you told that your interview lasted for the 1 hour. So how was your that interview room? How many assessors were there or interview officer? One was there or what was the scene over there?
So one officer was there who was taking my interview, and one assistant was sitting behind him.
Okay.
I don't know ki what he was doing, but my interaction was only with the officer who asked me question about my means the questions in my interview.
Okay. So when you came back from interview, how was your feeling?
After coming back from means I thought at that time ki I did well in psychology, so I was bit nervous about my interview, but when I came back from interview I was little bit more confident because my interview was good.
Okay.
So I didn't tell it to anyone, but my friend was there in SSB, close friend he was. So I just told him ki it was okay. So I think I have a chance. But I didn't tell it to anyone. But my interview was good.
Okay, so this was the first day. You had the two things. First your that PPDT, then your SRTs, WET, and after that you had your interview also. What was the second day process for you?
After on second day we have our GTO, that is group task, and in which we have to perform 9 activities.
Okay.
So in GTO, my GTO was good because I prepared well for my GTO, as I went to coaching in Officers Career Academy, where means Institute of SSB coaching, where they told me some tricks about what should be done correctly during a GTO task.
Okay.
So the officer which were training us, were the points they told us were very good. So that points helped me a lot during my GTO, and my GTO task went very good. So I think that was a major impact of my recommendation.
Okay. So second, that is means third day you had your GTO. And what was the process after your third day?
After third day, fourth day I was free because there was nothing remaining of mine. So the students who were remaining, they had their GTO and interview on the fourth day, but I was all free all for fourth day.
Then what was the fifth day?
Then on fifth day we had our conference.
Okay.
So my chest number was 33. So out of 40, 33 means I was in the last.
Okay.
So waiting time was very long.
Okay.
So I was bit nervous and also excited for the result.
Okay.
So when my chest number was called, I was sitting outside the room for around 10 minutes. So I was very anxious also ki what will happen and what will not. Then when I was called in for the conference, so board members asked me about ki
Okay, before entering the conference room, can you give us the picture of conference room, how it was, how many members were there, how you made your entry? So just tell us about the conference room entry.
So there was a long passage through which we have to pass and enter the conference hall. So 3 psychology test officer, 3 GTO officer, and 3 members including president and interviewing officer. Total 9 I guess was there.
Okay.
Because at that time you can't look at everyone. So
just you have counted maybe
9
officers
and
were there, and you have divided also that maybe psychology, GTO and like that. Okay. So the 10 officers were there in front of you. How was your first feeling after looking at the 10 officers at a time?
Actually, I was not, if you will go to conference, you will not be able to look at all 10 at a time.
Okay.
Because you have to just talk to one officer who is talking to you.
Right.
So we can't look here and there at that time.
Okay.
So that the officer was vice president of the board who was talking to me at first.
Okay.
So he asked me that your father is from Air Force background, but you are going to Navy. What is the reason? So such type of question he asked me, 1-2 questions.
What was your answer?
So my answer at that time was ki I want to become a fighter pilot.
Right.
It is not compulsory that I should join Air Force only to become a fighter pilot.
Okay.
Navy is also providing you fighter jets, so you can become a fighter pilot there over.
Okay.
So this reason I gave at that time.
Okay.
So after that, after asking 2-3 questions regarding my PIQ and just normal questions,
Okay.
president of the board asked me, ki, okay Suryanshu, we have judged you. Before leaving, I would like to ask you a question.
Okay.
If you will not get recommended this time, what will you do?
Okay, that is a
So-
common question, yes.
After hearing this question, I was 98% sure that I am going to get recommended.
Okay.
So still I was not overconfident and not showing it to anyone, but still I had a bit feeling inside me ki I am getting recommended. So
What did you answer?
I told them ki I will again come for, this is my last attempt, so I will come for CDS and after clearing CDS and FCAT, and then again try for Defence Forces.
Okay, it means you have given the positivity ki this is our 10+2 level entry and this is my last chance. If I am not getting a recommendation from this particular entry, then again I will come by CDS or AFCAT after completing my graduation.
Yes.
So that is again a positive attitude which you have shown. That's very good. Okay. Then what was the next step?
The last, after asking this question, they asked me just a simple question, if you know swimming or not. So I told them ki just basic, I can swim in pool. So they
Okay.
said okay, and I came out of the conference hall.
Okay.
After that, we have to wait for around 1.5 hours outside the conference hall again. So until the results were announced. So that 1.5 hours was like, means very complicated type of reactions are there at that time.
Okay.
So 1.5 hours passed, but I was having a means positive or something confident attitude that I'll get recommended because I have done my best. So when the results were announced, 6 of us get recommended.
Okay.
And when they took my chest number, I was very happy to hear my chest number at that time.
Okay. So what was the, you give me the exact feelings of yours when your chest number was called as a recommended cadets. What was your feelings at that time? Just try to explain us.
When my chest number was called, my chest number was 33. So I was bit confident that my chest number would be taken by the assessor. So when they called my chest number, first thing I was very eager to was कि I have to tell it to my parents that I get recommended.
Okay.
But as if anyone who is watching is going to SSB, phones are not allowed. You have to wait until they give you phone. So I was waiting for the moment when I'll get phone and tell it to my parents and relatives that I have got recommended.
Okay. So after how much time you got your mobile after the result?
After the result, mobiles were given to us 15-20 minutes later, but we were not allowed to use at that time.
Okay.
But still they told us ki you can make a call.
Okay.
So I just
To
have a
whom you made the first call and why?
I called my father first
Okay.
because I was knowing if I'll tell him, so he will means if he'll listen it to it, he will be very happy and he will tell it to everyone. So I will not have to call everyone at that time. So because I was having 30-40 seconds,
Okay.
so I just called my father and told him कि I got recommended.
Okay. What is
And-
the reaction of your father after receiving your call?
He was very happy at that time, but also at that time he didn't show me कि he is happy, but still he said okay, very good. But these 2 words he told me, but the 2 words that he told with the voice, I got to know कि he is very happy with that.
Okay. So Suryanshu, that was a very great journey. You have told us all the things in detail. And as you told that out of 46 of them got recommended in your batch. So how many others your friend got recommended through different other entries?
My academy friends who were there with me in academy, Officers Career Academy, so 5 of us were there who used to study together, and among 5 of us, 3 have got already recommended. 2 already cleared the written examination, but
Of which entry?
of NDA, but
okay.
they got conference out. So still they can do it from CDS and FCAT. I have complete bharosa कि they can do that. And
Okay. So,
so
is there any friend of yours from academy has gone to the NDA?
yes, 2 of my friends who got recommended are in NDA.
Who are they?
Shubham Badola is there,
Okay.
who got recommended in NDA 150.
So has he joined the NDA?
Yes, he is there in the academy, who is who got his, also he has completed his 2 months of training there in India also.
Okay.
And one of my friend, he is Saurabh Singh Mehra, he is from Uttarakhand. He joined OTA through TS entry, so he is also there in OTA.
TES, that is technical entry scheme.
Yes,
So for that he has gone to OTA.
yes.
I think so OTA is after the graduation.
No, you can go OTA through TS entry.
Okay, that's good. So number of your friends have joined the defense forces as an officer. That's very great. And see friends and dear friends, so now we are come close to our this particular session with Suryanshu. In a very simple words, he explained all the things to us So thank you, Suryanshu, for your kind and motivating words for our viewers, and all aspirants just monitor his way of answering all the question. In the defense forces, what is the requirement? They required you to be a pure person. They judge you on the three aspects, that is manasa, vacha, karmana. Manasa means your psychology, vacha means your interview, karmana means your GTO. All three things must be in line. What is happening in our day-to-day life? We are thinking something else, we are telling something else, and we are doing something else. Just try to monitor yourself within you, that am I talking the same things which I am thinking, and am I doing the same things which I am talking? If you are able to judge all these three things in a single parameter and the answer comes in a straight way, I think so you are a candidate who can be recommended for the NDA. So dear friends, for the NDA, you must be a pure and perfect person in your behavior, in your attitude, in your psychology. All the best for your upcoming exams. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.